today than this mandala. So I think what we're just going to do is to crack on. And let's see, I'm wondering what kind of colors I should go for today. I've grabbed a few different pinks and blues, and I think that's what we're going to start with. Just looking at this, thinking what kind of colors to put in. I think let's go first with the blue and then have a bit more think how to continue. There we go. So, oops. So that reminds me of horns. Don't know why, but these little parts, they feel like horns or tweezers. Okay, somebody's imagination is just running wild today. Have you guys ever got a day when your imagination just runs completely rampant and the craziest things keep popping up? I am sort of feeling a bit like that today, but that's fine. You can see what kind of coloring comes out from the other end. There we go. We are doing blue tweezers, just going around making everything blue. There we go. So, how is everybody today? Are we having a good day? Have we just started today? Are we finishing the day? I was just checking the stats for this channel a couple of days ago, and I realized that I'm getting people from all over the world watching. Thank you for everybody for coming. Advin is saying Jello. Oh, is this what's in your head at the moment? Jello. Yep. Sounds like a good thing. Somehow Jello sounds cooler than tweezers. Yeah, I think. At least that's what I'm thinking. Jello is better than... Yeah. Dolphin is saying, wow, nice, thank you. And there's Admin saying, hi everybody. And Esther saying, moi. There we go. We already have people commenting. Thank you very much. It's always nice to hear back from you. So, anybody else having anything crazy going on around in their heads? So, I've got tweezers, and that's because I'm looking at this, because I was saying this looks like tweezer or horns. And then somebody there is thinking of Jello. That sounds good. Anybody else want to share what's in their head at the moment? Oops. Of course it is, if it is shareable. There we go. Going around making a lot of tweezers. Very blue tweezers. Ha. Yeah. Also, is it morning or is it a night, or what time is it for you? Because yes, like I said, I was checking the channel stats and I realized that people from all over the world are tuning in. I guess it depends a bit on what time I'm doing. But just a few days ago, I had somebody who was in the middle of the night watching it from Australia. So thank you very much. All your support is very much appreciated. It's nice to have people. Nice to have people coming over. Especially if they say hi. There we go. Almost done. Almost gone around. Done all the tweezers. There we go. We've got one set of them. And then there's going to be another. And the last one. Here comes the last one. So was looking at the mandalas that I've done in the past. There's some completely crazy color combinations that somehow looked nice. And then I was just looking at this. There was something that was very green that looked nice. And I was just thinking, why don't I try to do something that has blues and purples? Just because I quite like those colors. So today just might be a blue and purple day. Let's see if I end up sticking to that though. I have a bad habit of just sort of going off on a tangent and doing something else because I think, ooh, I quite like that color, and then it's something a bit random. But it's nice to live on the edge and see, can I still bring it together? Does it still look like it's planned? Does it still look nice? Somehow pleasant to look? Rather than something completely random. Even though I'm putting random colors together. Yep, there we go. Colored a bit over there. I think that means I'm going to be choosing something a bit darker there. Just to cover a little bit of those horns. Ha! So now I've got tweezer and now I've got horns. Funny shapes I've got here. There we go. We are halfway down with the purple. There. Yep. Last time when I was coloring, I chose to do this with bigger markers, and they leaked through. And I was thinking, oh no, because there was another lovely mandala on the other side, and now I've sort of ruined the other mandala because everything went through. So now I'm using these different colors, and hopefully this will literally just end up looking nice rather than going through the paper. We shall see that. Okay, Sansandaba. Oh, that's lovely. I love your name. As you're saying hi, hi, and you're saying that you like. Thank you. That's very nice to hear. Yep, I think this is a solid start. Let's see how it's gonna turn out. So far, so good. There we go. So we've got those pinks and purples, blues and purples. Can I stick to this kind of color scheme? Is a completely different thing. Let's see. There we go. So we got those two. So I was saying that I need to choose something a bit darker. A bit darker. So I think what I will do is I will go for blue, just because I colored something over. Yes, there it is. Don't know if you can see it very well, but I've sort of colored a bit over from where it should be. So I'm doing some dark blue horns. These are quite small pieces to color. There we go. Right now. Oh, hello. That is lovely. You're sending me stickers. There. Very nice. Did you put your hand up? Do you have a question? Or am I just looking at it wrong? Can't see. There we go. So I'm going to go around with this color. There you go. That is quite a few to go around, especially with marker that is quite thin. But I am progressing. There we go. Actually looks quite nice. Wow, that's my opinion. Hope you like it too. There we go. going around and around and around, and now I'm covering everything with my hand, but it makes it faster for me to color these little bits. There we go. And the last one. Ta-da! Okay. Right, what color should we put together? Yay, more good motivation. Yep. So, what shall we put there? I'm thinking I would like to. So if I want to stick with blues and purples, I do have a few other colors, and I'm wondering whether I should go for a lighter blue here in between, and then I will put something completely different in that little part that I want to highlight. The question is just what color will it be? Yep. Any suggestions for colors? I always ask, and sometimes somebody actually says something. So what I'm thinking is what to color this part with. I'm almost thinking at the moment I could use orange. Yep, I could use orange, or maybe yellow. Something like that. This will end up looking, rather than tweezers and horns, this will end up looking more like flower, I think, after I've done that part. There we go. You like this? Yep, I quite like it too. Wasn't quite sure when I was looking at the mandala whether I feel like doing this today or whether I should go for something else. And then I was like, yep, I think that is today's thing. And I think I did the right choice. Just go with the feeling. That's definitely a good idea when you're doing arts. You just need to follow your feeling. There. Okay, so we've got something that is quite blue. Yep. And I think I'll go with the, oh, I just realized I've got a couple of pinks here as well. Maybe the pinks, maybe what I will do is do pinks here. Actually, here. There we go. There we go. Looks like yes, looks like a birdie. Little bird flying somewhere, except it's pink. Maybe it's a flamingo in the distance flying. Yeah, can't think of anything else that would be this pink. Any other birdies? I quite like flamingos. I don't know any other bird that would look majestic and funny at the same time. There we go. Right. Yep. Halfway done. There we go. Let's continue the other half. Filling in those flamingos. And then, yes, I did mention that orange, and then I didn't do it. I guess I needed to see a little bit more blues and purples and now pinks before I went for it. So there we go. Almost done with this part. And that was the last flamingo. Ta-da! Okay, and now I'm gonna go and do that orange that I was talking about. Can I find a nice orange? Something that is quite orangey orange. There we go. Going over doing this little part with orange. Do you think orange was a good choice, or should I have gone for something a bit lighter, like yellow? Yeah, we shall see. I'll go around and we'll see how the whole thing looks like with the orange. There we go. Yep. Oops. Tried to go so fast that I almost went past. There. Yep. I just realized you can hardly see any coloring happening. I think it's quite dark and there's some dark decorations in it, so we'll plow through this part fast and then we'll do something else that looks more like I'm coloring also on the video. Okay, there we go. We've done the outer edge. Oh, stumble guys, new people. Hey, you put an R. I can just see pink. I don't actually know what this is, but it's called R. Pink jaws. Stumble guys. Sunday, Sansandava. Hello, everybody. Right, okay. So, cracking on. What color shall I put next? So I think we're going to continue with our pinks, and shall we go for that in between pink? I don't want to make this too pink, but I think that could be pink, and then maybe some blues again. Yep, let's do pink here. Alligator, crocodile. Now I remembered what the thing is. R with jaws. That's what I meant to say about your sticker. Oops, there we go. Right. Do we think this is turning too pink? I don't know. I think I'll put some yellow in between. Because that orange that I did there before, it didn't really stand out much. It just looks a little bit orangey, but not much. There we go. We're almost around. Almost, not quite. There. A little bit more. Okay, and I've gone around. There we go. No, it's not too pink yet. Nah. But I will bring some blue in. And I think what I will do is the next big blue. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think it's going to be that one. That is going to be blue. I adore this blue. I don't know why. Reminds me of sky, I think. I really like it. So we're using it now again. Doing this zigzag with it. There we go. And we're continuing around. And then it's just figuring out what other colors we're going to put. Sandapa, you're saying you like painting too. Oh yes, coloring, painting, I find them quite relaxing. It's nice to do that. I'm not so sure about drawing. Drawing requires, yes, drawing requires more doing, I feel. Thank you for the stickers. There we go. There's definitely always much more thinking of when you're trying to when you're trying to draw something rather than just color. How do I get this to look like it should? Okay, there we go. Right, and then I need to figure out what else to do here. So I think what I will do is we're going to put some darker color here. Again, it's going to be just these little triangles. Oops. Well, the idea was to put just the little triangles, and then I blinked. You should never blink while coloring. I end up just coloring over. So there we go. Going around with dark blue. There we go. Right, so now we've got some dark blue there. You've got many notebooks and you're painting. Oh, that's brilliant. That's really nice. You can then go later on and just look through what you've been creating, and you can remember, oh, this was when it was this and this year. This is when I was living somewhere. Yeah, do you ever have a book with you when you travel? I know that a lot of people, they travel to places and then they they sit somewhere, like for example in Paris or somewhere in famous places, and then they just draw what they see. You just see beautiful drawings in their notebooks. It's brilliant. Brilliant to watch. Oh, thank you. Somebody is sending me a lot of hearts. It's very kind. There we go. Right, so we have gone around with another blue. We are going blue crazy today. Right, so now we've got different blues there, and I did think of doing yellow here. So perhaps I will do that soon. But I think what I will do, I will put that in here. That looks like a sort of like an apple. I don't know how to describe that shape. It's just two circles stuck together. So we're going around and doing a little bit of that. And then it's just figuring out what color should go to those inner circles. Rodney Parrot is there. Hi. Lovely. Oh, and somebody is saying beautiful from Argentina. What time is it in Argentina? Is it very early? Hi, beautiful. Angel Cordova. Hey. Hi, Angel. Do you guys all know each other? Or are you just hiing everybody? Right. Yes. What was I planning to do? I was just thinking what color to put in there. And I think what I will do is we are gonna go and do one of these. Or one of these. Darker or lighter? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think I will go for the lighter color. And I'm gonna go there. I just realized I don't think I've got this color in yet. This is the first time it's going. There we go. Perhaps I should put this somewhere else as well, so that it doesn't look so lonely. Couple of layers of the same color. There we go. Yep, I have pretty much stuck to my original plan and put some oranges. No. Ah, I meant blues and purples. I haven't gone too far from that. I was staring at the orange and I was thinking of something else. Right, so the question is, what shall I do next? Am I gonna be brave and do a little bit of yellow? I could do with this light yellow and see how it looks like. Because I wonder if we just could benefit from having a little bit of yellow going around. Just touches here and there. There we go. Let's see how that looks like. Just very little touches. Oh, I think that actually, yeah, that sparked it up a little bit, I think. And then, what shall we put here in the middle? Should the middle be pink? I am thinking, let's bring that pink from the outside and put that in. There we go. Like that. Is that pink gonna go all around in the middle? I think it is. Then there's just that little layer in between, and the question is, what color should that be? And I think I'm gonna put that with the orange. Not quite sure how well you can see this, but there is this little layer that sort of feels like it needs a bit of color. There we go. And then it's literally just the big question of, what do I do with these colors, or these elements that go around? I am thinking of putting some yellow there, and let's see how that turns out. I think let's start with a little bit of yellow. Yes, I think we're gonna just continue. Just gonna continue and do yellow. There we go. Sometimes when you've got similar colors, you just need something else. Just sort of bring it alive. Ha! Let me know. You like it? You don't like it? Do you think a different color would have been better? Yep. Have I ruined it? Or is this a good color? That might be a divisive. That might have been a divisive choice, putting yellow in here. There we go. Yep. You're saying this is good. Okay. Somebody thinks the same way as I do, that it's actually not a bad thing having a bit of yellow. There we go. Just going around and around and around. I think it will come together as I'm going around. And the more I'm doing. On the first one, it looked a little bit lonely, I think. But it will not look as lonely as I've just gone around and done them all. There we go. Getting there. Ah. Okay. Yeah, that was quite a brave choice. But I have to say, I am not regretting it. There we go. Like that. Almost around. And there we are. Huh. That is today's mandala. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think I quite like it. And yes, that yellow might be a color that is going to divide people. Was it the right choice? Should I have continued with something else? Should a lighter blue, for example, have been a good one? But yes, let me know what you think. So thank you very much for being with me here today, and please subscribe and like if you like the videos. Thank you very much. Bye. Have a lovely day.